My name is Allison and today is July 19th, 2019, and I am interviewing Kim Spore at the Newkirk Public Library. So my first question today is, what motivated you to join the military?
I was a couple years out of high school, and I just was ready to see different parts of the country, and one of my friends, Jeff Kinky, had already joined up in the paratroopers, and so I and Terry Sutherland decided we'd join up and go be stationed where he was at in Italy.
Tell me a little bit about your time in basic training.
It was a lot of work. We took a lot of classes, learning how to take care of your equipment and how to take orders, and the gas mask training was real exciting. They put you in a building room and popped the canisters, and you put on your mask and sat there a while, then you took your mask off and said your name and rank, and by that time you were coughing and sneezing and had to walk on out of the room to prove that their gas mask really worked. Is the reason they did that.
So what was your primary job after training?
I was a field wireman, communications. We took care of the communications between the cannons and the fire range, where they gave them orders to shoot the guns.
Were you deployed? If so, where were you deployed to?
Vicenza, Italy. I was in Italy for my term. We were in first the 105 battery, and half of our time we were deployed in other countries doing maneuvers with other countries and shooting our cannons.
Did you ever, when you went to a different country, did you ever get to explore and see the beautiful country, or was it just strictly you had to stay on base?
While we were in Italy, it was kind of a day job. You know, you spent time at playing Army, and then in the evenings you were off duty. You could go out and see the country, and I took a week's vacation, and we went up in the mountains and skiing, and so it was kind of just like a regular job, unless we was on maneuvers, and then it was 24 hours, 7 days a week, play Army.
What was the most demanding part of your deployment?
Probably sitting on the tarmac, suited up, ready to jump, because they told us if we had parachuted into a situation that 75% of us would probably be shot on the way down. And in 24 hours, if we didn't get relief, the enemy would overrun our company. So I think that was most demanding, is to stay ready and be the best Army or soldier that you could be.
Where did you serve the majority of your time in service?
Vicenza, Italy was my basic place we stayed, but we were in a battery, and we went 50% of our time was probably spent in other countries on maneuvers, and 50% in Italy. We went to England, France, Germany. We went to a lot of countries and played war.
What rank are you most proud of to have earned, and why?
Oh, I got out as a E4, and in 4 years, it just took a long time to get rank in the Army, and of course I just went for 4 years, so I feel like that I did perform my job well enough to get to an E4.
Which medals or citations are you most honored to have received?
Well, I received jumping out of airplanes. Paratrooper was one that I liked. M16, I was marksman on it, and driving was probably my best. we did a lot of driving over in Italy and England, driving on the wrong side of the road, and it, you know, took a little getting used to changing left to right while you're driving.
Did you ever like swerve out of the road when you were trying to drive?
That was a long time ago, and I expect, yeah, we probably did a little swerving now and then. Because you'd be driving a gamma goat and a trailer behind you, and it's probably as long as this room, all that together, and it just, you ran about 50 miles an hour and everybody else was running 70 or so. It was exciting to do it without any accidents.
So, when you were jumping out of airplanes, how was your adrenaline? Were you nervous? Were you excited?
I was always nervous. We jumped with a static line. That's a cord that you hooked up in the airplane or helicopter, and it was about 15 foot long, and then it would pull your chute out as you fell. And that part of the time you was really excited and nervous and hoping that it opened. And after it opened, you calmed down a little because you knew you were safe, or going to be safe when you hit the ground, as long as you performed your job well.
Tell me about some of the special people you met.
Special people. The people in Italy were fairly nice. I mean, they were nice. I enjoyed going out into the crowds, towns or whatever, and visiting with people. But the Communist Party was legal over there also, so you had to watch what you went, where you went, and when you went, because they had rallies. I had a sergeant over us that, I don't know if he took me under his wing or whatever, but he showed me the ropes when I got there, and probably why I helped get to an E4.
What was the best and the worst military food you ate?
You probably heard the sea rations was the worst. It comes in a little square box. And I liked breakfast at the base. They had eggs and bacon, and I kind of like bacon. There was a certain time of the morning, and you always knew it'd be over there. If you got done with your PT and got cleaned up, you could go over and get breakfast.
So while you were in Italy, did you ever go out into the towns and explore the culture of food, like what they ate?
Yes, they have. I like their pizza. The fireplace is a big dome brick deal, and the fire's back in there, and they slide it in on a big spoon, and that's how they cooked all their pizzas and pastas in that wood-burning stove.
Tell me a funny story you experienced that could only happen in the military.
We went on a ski trip up in the mountains and spent about a week up there, and I think there's 4 of us, 4 or 5, and it's time to come home, and we got in this car, Volkswagen, station wagon, and we started down the mountain, and it started raining, and the windshield wipers quit working, and I'd had a squeegee with a long handle, and so the guy on the passenger side rolled down his window, got out and sat in the window with and reached across the windshield with that squeegee and squeegeed my window as we went down the mountain. And the couple guys in the back were holding onto his legs. So, in the Army, the threat of dying was very real. So a little problem like going down the road didn't bother you that much. You didn't worry about running off the road or running into anybody.
So the friends that you made in the military, do you still talk to some of them today?
No. Well, I take that back. Terry Sutherland, we joined up together, but he didn't make paratrooper. His health wasn't good enough, so he got stationed in the lower part of Italy, and I still see him a little once in a while, but not too often.
How did your military experience affect your life today?
It makes you appreciate the United States. There is that countries over there, you know, I was in Europe and Italy and Spain, and there's not as much freedom as we have in the United States. You know, we can get up and go. The United States is a lot bigger than most of those countries over there are. Just more freedom, and realizing that freedom's not free.
So when you went into the other countries, it was quite a bit of a culture shock, right?
Yes, there are a lot of difference in what you can do, and being in the Army, I paid more attention to their police, and their police have a lot more authority, or they can do more things without getting in trouble from the government.
Okay. Thank you for letting me interview you today, and thank you for your service. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'm glad to be here.
I'd like to ask a question.
Okay.
How did the people in the other countries react to the American military over there?
Basically acted good, but you know, the Communist Party was over there, and you know, and they'd have rallies, and they'd tell us that they were having a rally in Vicenza or somewhere, and you need to stay out of there. But most of all, they were pleasant. Like I said, I didn't go in places probably where the Communist Party was really present, so I don't. But most of them were nice.